Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about the Streamlight rifle lights. Okay. Before we get into it, hit the subscribe button, hit the hit the bell button to get notifications, and if you like the video, hit the thumbs up. The reason is because basically, the more thumbs up I have, the more subscribers, the more my videos become suggested, and we can draw in more people to this channel. Okay, and then we can have more conversations in the comments section. So basically that's what I'm trying to do with this. I'm not making any money out of this. I don't monetize any of this. I'm just trying to grow a community. So let's talk about these Streamlight lights. I've got two of them here. This is the Streamlight ProTac 1000 Lums. I think it's the I wrote it down here. It's the HLX. Okay, that's the HLX. 1000 lums, and they say that it's good out to 325 meters. Okay, and then this one here, this one I've only had for actually about a week or so. This one I've had a little bit longer, a couple of months. This is the Streamline, just the ProTac. This one is 625 lumens, okay, and they say this one's good out to about 297 meters. Okay, so we got 625 lums versus 1,000 lums. Now there is a size difference. Hold these two things side by side. Where is it? There you go. You can see the size difference. All right, what I did is, what I wanted to do is I put the smaller light on a rifle that I use more for tactical training, where I come up, this is a lot more moving and shooting. And the other cool thing is I didn't want to, first of all, they give you two end caps over here. One is a button switch like this, and they also give you the pressure pad. Okay? So this is with both of them. You get a pressure pad with both of them, and this is really cool because from my understanding, that Surefire doesn't give you these things. You have to pay extra for these things. So both these lights are about $100. So I think that's a great deal. One of the things I tell people is I don't recommend you pay more than $100 to $120 for your lights, because this is a rapidly developing technology. Okay. In a couple of months, and 6 months from now, they'll have like 1,200 lums and 1,500 lums. Okay, so this is a rapidly developing technology. It's not like you're gonna buy one light and that's the light that you're gonna have, for the rest of your life with that rifle. That's not the case at all. A lot of times people talk about durability, Surefire versus Streamlight. First of all, I've heard other people tell me that they've had like upwards of 10,000 rounds on these lights. But besides that, I don't have that many rounds on these lights. But besides that, I have this light here, okay, that I've been using for about a year on this 9mm rifle. That's a $3 light. Okay, it's a $3 LED light. I bought a 5-pack. Okay, I've got it on this 9mm rifle. I don't shoot this all that much. I have somewhere between 500 and 1,000 rounds on this rifle with this light on it, and basically this cheap $3 light is doing fine. The only issue I had is that the lens, at the front was basically vibrating loose. Basically, it was unscrewing. So what I did is I took some plumber's tape. You can kind of see the white over there. So I put some plumber's tape around the threads, and I basically tightened it in, and that kind of holds it in place. So the point I'm trying to say is that LED technology, or LED lights, by their nature, are very durable. Okay, I mean, I've got, I use, like I said, the $3 lights. I mean, I've dropped these things off of ladders, off of roofs. These things, they're durable. I mean, even if they're not meant to go on rifles, they're very durable. So on the LED light that's meant to go on the rifle, it's gonna last. I mean, it's not gonna be. I mean, I don't think durability is an issue, just because of the nature of what LED bulbs are. Okay, so those are my thoughts on that. It's not worth paying, more for the Surefires when for a temporary technology, which is going to be continually advancing. So moving on, let's talk a little bit more about the capabilities of these lights. We got 1,000 lums versus 625 looms. They tell you that they both go out to about, let's say, about 300 yards. In reality, if you're in a situation like this in the woods, okay, what you're gonna really get is this light here, the 625 looms. It's basically a 100-yard light. Okay, as far as actually engaging targets, you're gonna be somewhere between 50 yards and 75 yards. At 100 yards, I mean, unless you have a large target that's white, okay, you're not going to be able to really see it as well. Not in this type of environment anyway. So 625 looms in the woods is a 50 to 75 yard light. Now on this one here, with the 1000 looms, I was actually shooting a target at it was an 8x11 white paper. You guys have seen me use those type of targets in other videos. An 8x11 paper, I was shooting that at 170 yards, 170. Now, from the 170, I went back to 200 yards. At 200 yards, I really couldn't see the paper. Now, mind you, I'm using, this is the Primary Arms 1-8 scope. So I'm using magnification to be able to see this target at 170 yards. At 170 yards, I was able to see it well enough to take a good shot at it. And I was getting a decent group. It wasn't spectacular, but it was decent. At 200 yards, I mean, I couldn't find it. And that's knowing where it was. Knowing between what two trees to look, I couldn't find it, okay? So that's a little bit of the reality of the situation. The other thing, so like I said, it's 170 yards. The other thing is that I was experiencing, walking that 170 yard distance to the target, it gave me a good opportunity, to actually practice using the light in somewhat unfamiliar territory. I was not actually shooting in this area here. I was shooting way off to the side over here. So I was moving through the woods in the dark, and like I said, it was like way off. So you can kind of see what the trees look over there. You got all these branches sticking out. It's not an easy walk. Most important thing is my light hat. Okay, very important tool. We were trying to hit the button. There you go. See the lights? Okay, that allows me to see what's at my feet. Okay, without that, I basically would have been tripping over myself. So that's the first tool that you gotta have. You gotta have a light hat in the woods to basically cover that distance. And the other thing that was happening is, as I was walking through the woods, I was actually using the opportunity to do some training. Because as I'm walking through the woods, basically now all the night creatures are out, right? And as they're rustling around, they're making noise. Now, I'm not hunting, I'm just practicing here, practicing moving. So I got the rifle here, and what was happening is that I would hear noise in a given direction. What I would do is I would basically come up. Okay, I have my thumb on the safety, even though I'm not actually planning to shoot, but basically I'm just practicing that position. Come up, put the pressure pad on, shine that area, do a scan, okay, and then come off, move to a different position, okay? Walked a little bit more. Again, I would hear another noise, turn in that direction, shine the light, do a scan, move, and then continue moving, okay? So this is a good way to do your night shooting, and you can kind of practice a couple of things at once. You're practicing your distance shooting. You're practicing your distance shooting with the light on. You're practicing moving. So there's a lot of good stuff to do. The other thing to be aware of is when you're shooting with the light, right? Okay, when you're shooting, let's say when I was shooting that 170 yards, after you fire your shot, basically you have all the muzzle blast that comes out. Now in the daytime you can't see the muzzle blast, basically, so you can continue to follow through. You focus on keeping your reticle on the target and making sure that it doesn't move. At night, when you're using the light, as soon as the gun goes bang, what happens is all the stuff comes out of the front of the barrel, and you got all that smoke. The light basically reflects back off that smoke, so the target disappears. So you don't have the ability to do your follow through. So that's one, and I actually had to wait about almost 20 to 30 seconds before the smoke would clear out, and I could, well, maybe it wasn't 20 seconds, maybe it was 15 seconds, but whatever. I had to wait some seconds in order for that smoke to clear and I can see the target. Okay, so that's an important aspect of night shooting. Okay, you have that, once you fire that round, your light's going to basically reflect off of the smoke. So it almost never makes any sense at night, with if you're shooting at distance with a rifle scope, to anticipate taking a second shot, because you're not going to be able to take the target. So you take a shot, not put the light off, and then move to a different position. Okay, so that's the reality with the smoke. The other thing that you're going to have to work through is, you've got this light here that puts out 1,000 lums, and now you got your reticle. Presumably you're using a reticle that's illuminated, because this this scope has the ACSS reticle. It's etched onto the glass, but it's also illuminated. Now, when it's in like black mode, right? If the illumination is off, I really can't see the reticle. So what I did is I put it to the 1 setting. Okay. Now, in the 1 setting, what I can see on this particular scope is I can see the target. Okay, I can't see the chevron in the center, but I can see the horseshoe, the circle basically around it. So what I was doing is I was putting the horseshoe around my target, around the 8x11 paper. If I switched it to the number 2 position, now I could see the chevron. But what would happen is now the reticle was so bright that I could no longer see the white paper. So the reticle basically was overpowering the target. So I had to switch back to the 1 position where the chevron, you can't see the chevron, but I can see the circle around it. And basically I had to, kind of anchor the circle to the corners of the paper and take my best shot like that. Okay. So again, this is something that you're gonna learn by doing this, by experiencing it. And just moving back and forth through the woods to check your target, set it up again, move back, and like I said, along the way, when you hear noises, use that as an opportunity, to basically practice searching with your light, turn to the direction of the noise, put the light on, okay, then do a scan in the area, light off, move. Okay, so you don't want to stay in that 1 position. So a good tactical training opportunity. This rifle here, this is the Ruger MPR, great rifle. I have the pressure switch over here, because basically I got the light all the way up here, far enough back from the muzzle so that I don't get too much, soot basically and garbage onto the glass. So it's far enough back. I wanted to, I ended up using the pressure switch because if I brought the rifle further, if I brought the glass further back on the rifle this long, I felt like I was getting too much of a shadow, because it's got the 18-inch barrel. So I didn't like the shadow I was getting. So I ended up using the pressure switch. Basically, I have it zip tied down over here. Now, the cool thing about Streamlight is they give you this for free. Okay, they give you two. They give you 2 options. They give you the push button thing, and they give you the pressure pad. And you can use either one. I believe Surefire charge. You have to pay extra for that. On this one over here. Okay, I basically, because I'm doing a lot of that tactical stuff, this is closer distance. I'm basically, I didn't put the pressure pad on it. I'm using the thumb switch over here. The other thing I like by not using the pressure pad, I'm able to quickly, take this off, put this on another rifle. Okay, so that's one of the cool things. I'm able to move this around from rifle to rifle. This one is kind of going to stay on that rifle over there, whereas this one over here is going to move around to different rifles. One of the things you want to be aware of is whatever you do with your light, you have to make sure it doesn't interfere with your sling. Okay, because you got to have a sling, especially if you're moving around at night over long distances. You're going to get tired, so you want to be able to rest it, or if you need to pick something up or move stuff, you got to be able to basically go hands-free. So, but when you set up your light, make sure that it does not interfere with your sling. That's why I have it way back here, kind of a little bit high. On this one over here, what I ended up doing is, since the sling's on this side, I ended up going on the off side, on the right side over here. This way the two don't interfere with each other. So again, that's another reason why I definitely had to use the pressure pad. Okay, I considered briefly bringing this light a little further back over here, but I said, let's just go with the pressure pad and work with that. So a couple of things for you guys to think about. If you guys have any questions, comments, let me know. And like I said, if you're not a member, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys next time.